Hola! My name is Janie.
And my name is Omar.
Welcome to Guayaquil. When the sun scorches in the day and the empanadas sizzle at night.
Where you never stop sweating and the cars never stop honking.
We've been in Ecuador for about 3.5 weeks. My favorite moment so far has definitely been going to Baños. Not the bathroom, but the city Baños. It's this tourist city and you get to do lots of cool activities like canopying or zip lining, canyoning or rappelling down a waterfall, and my favorite was white water rafting. Those brown water. But those are my favorite.
My favorite experience here is
Should we
just...
take off our sweaters now?
Okay.
Yeah, it's because it's not really cold.
Yeah, my favorite part has just really been getting to know the people here, getting to know the people in the seminary where we live, and getting to know the students on campus. There's just something so genuine about knowing someone on a deeper level that transcends like not knowing the language or the culture, but just friends.
Yeah, definitely. Through adventure, through sharing, through just living life together, getting to know one another and together loving Christ has definitely been one of the best parts of being on this trip, no doubt. So every morning, Monday through Thursday, we go to 3 different campuses. We go to the state school called Universidad de Guayaquil, we go to ESPO, which is a science school, and we go to Católica, which is a general school, but it's private. So for 5 hours of each one of these days, we spend time having spiritual conversations with people and getting to know the student life there a little better.
I'm in the group at ESPO, and sharing on campus has been a lot different than sharing in the United States. It's easier because in a lot of ways people are more open to just even talking about anything. They're open to conversation, open about what they believe, about wanting to hear what we believe. But it's definitely been challenging in some ways, like definitely language barrier. Even though a lot of us do speak Spanish, at least a little bit, there's definitely some like walls that are created by not speaking so well. But it's just been awesome having to trust God in those ways for when we don't know what to do, when we don't know what to say, and all we're doing is telling them the gospel and trusting that God will change their hearts.
So like Omar said, there's no doubt that there's so many cultural differences in sharing and like how people communicate here, and you don't realize that till you're here. For example, when you're doing Solarium or the images that you use to share, people here will 9 out of 10 times they will want to do it. Do they really want to do it? That's a good question, but the point is they'll say yes to it almost every single time. In the US, they don't feel like doing it, they'll brush you off and they have no problem doing it. Here, they'll definitely let you in a lot easier. And you don't have to be so time sensitive. They might have a class, they'll skip it for you even if they're not enjoying the conversation. In the US, they gotta go somewhere, they will go to that. There's a lot of difficulties here. For example, people here don't like to talk about themselves. So when you ask them a question, they'll give you a 5-word response. You just gotta think about more questions and more follow-up questions to ask. And it's funny because in America, you ask them a question and they'll talk all day. People in America love to talk about themselves, and that's the reality.
That's fun though.
We had cloudiness for like hours, and now it's all sunny and nasty again.
Ecuador.
Humid. That's Ecuador. think it's gonna be cloudy and you're gonna have a break, you don't.
No. Another one of the difficult things about sharing on campus is that here in Ecuador and a lot of Latin America is largely Catholic. So when we go to share, a lot of the things that we believe and think are very similar. Jesus is the Son of God that came to die for our sins. They believe all these things, but they also believe that you can do works to go to heaven, that you need to be a good person or you won't go to heaven. And a lot of times, because they're so close, it's hard to explain well or for them to understand well that's not the case, that God has grace for us, and that's all we need, that we don't need to do anything ourselves because Jesus already did it.
We're super stoked that you guys want to pray for us.
We need prayer.
You have a calculator watch?
Yeah.
This is like from the 80s.
As a team and to the students and people here, just that when we leave in a week and it's going to be really hard. So I would just ask for prayer for our hearts in preparation for that. That we know that we can contact them still, that we can all stay friends and stay together, but it's definitely different and just hard.
We also want to pray for the health of the group. You hear that prayer request often, but we're not joking. We're sick. Like, we're all really sick. I mean, stomach problems, just like there's just virus going around, throwing up, all those sorts of things. As soon as we got back from Baños, so we call it the gift of Baños, but a lot of the team is like out in bed. Some of them went to the hospital even. So we just see that as like the enemy trying to stop us and motivate us and just really tire us out from just sharing these amazing news of the gospel. You guys have read about persecution in the Bible, right? There's no doubt that it has been so real on our campuses, where we're sharing and then security guards come up and they see that we can't be doing that. So we get kicked out from one department to another, and it's just, not only is it intimidating for many people in our group, but also we lose motivation to keep sharing naturally because we're just scared of what's going to happen to us and the future of the group. We just ask for prayer so that Christ can be stronger and make way and just put grace before us so we're able to keep sharing the wonderful news. So thank you guys so much for wanting to get to know more about our experiences and also our prayer requests. So from Omar and Janie, ciao. We're really happy that you guys are asking us. Really happy that you guys are
asking us for things to pray for.
Yeah, asking us. You guys are asking us for things to pray for. For things that you guys
You can hear that.
Shut up!
I'm gonna hit people down there.
Shut up!
Wow.
What happens when you film on a roof? See, they look. He doesn't even know. He doesn't even know.